What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be me doing this look that was suggested by me by one of my mutuals on TikTok. Her @ is Nikira Richie, NIKIRARICHIE, and I absolutely love her. She's so talented. Like, her liner looks, oh my gosh, like I wish I could be that precise. I love it so much. But she was asking me to do like a sunny day because I was talking about like illustrations that I could do on my forehead. Y'all know I like to draw something on my forehead. I mean, I'm gonna use my space, like, you know, I got a big ass forehead, so I'm gonna use it for, you know, some good. And for the brows, I was like, you know what, let's do something that's not going to take up too much attention. When it comes to me doing these looks, sometimes I actually will do the illustration first. That way I can kind of like go based off of the colors and the vibe that I'm going for. But for this look, I decided to do brows first, and then I'm using one of my favorite concealers from Thread Beauty. This is the Cover It concealer. I believe I have the shade 7. It's like a golden-ish undertone, and I absolutely love it. This is like my go-to because, one, the applicator is big, and I feel like you get so much product out, and I can actually be precise. But, you know, I'm adding some concealer to my actual eyelid, because instead of me doing the eyeshadow base, I just decided to do like, you know, my concealer method, and I'm setting it with the Milk Cosmetics She's Alive powder. When it comes to me doing eyeshadow looks, sometimes I will use like the concealer like you see right now, and if I want it to be like really like pigmented and I really want my base to like help my eyeshadows like pop a little bit more, I will use a eyeshadow primer. And I've used the eyeshadow base from Slay Ready Cosmetics in the shade Nefertiti. That's usually my go-to, but I also have one from Scratched by Cat. Is their perfect base, and it's like, it might be the darkest shade, I'm not gonna lie, but just get whatever shade is closer to like your concealer shade, in my opinion. But you can also do like a white shade or one that's like really like pale if you really want to build up those colors. But I knew for this look, since I'm going to be doing the illustration on my forehead, I really didn't want to like do too much with my eyes. And this is usually what I do. Like, if I'm gonna have to like spend a good little second doing something, like I would literally just like make my eyeshadow very, very simple. And I just used a brunette palette. I got that in a like mystery box from Milk Cosmetics, and would I have purchased it, like, you know, if it was on the website? Hell no, because I feel like the colors, like, they're for someone who is, you know, has a little bit lighter skin than me, but I'm making it work, you feel me? And I decided to add this Danessa Murray's Beauty Lightwork Volume 6, I think it's the Freedom palette, and I'm just adding this orangey shade on top just to make it pop a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna blend where like that end is for my cut crease, that way it's a smoother transition and doesn't just look like I just put some stuff on my eye and didn't even care to blend it out. And then I'm going to line my top lash line with this black eyeliner. Now I'm done with my eyes. I'm using my Win Beauty mascara. I believe this is the Big Vision mascara in Focus Black. And usually, now that I've like done like looks like this like 10 million times, I will usually wait to do my mascara. This is actually from literally like 2-3 months ago, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when it came to me doing my looks, I'm like backtracking and like trying to catch up and like post all the old stuff because I'm ready to post like the newer stuff. But at this moment, around that time, I was like getting ready for Pride season, and I did 10 million Pride looks, so I was trying to hurry up and get all of those out so I could like actually like put all the content out before July started. So now that it's July, I'm over here just trying to get all the old content out because I have a couple different summer looks that, like, you know, I feel like they have to be posted in summer. Like, I mean, they can get posted whenever, but to me it gives summer vibes, and I would like to post it before summer is over. And yeah, school's about to start in a couple weeks, so, you know, I'm trying to mentally get prepared for that. And it's gonna be different because I'm teaching a different age group, and I feel like I'm actually being supported a lot more, and I'm grateful for that because, baby, like, I need the help because I literally burnt myself out last year. I was trying so hard not to burn myself out, but I was dealing with so much. Like, literally, my grandmother passed away early in the school year, and then like a week or two later, I got in a car accident and like literally totaled up the fuck out of my car. It was not my fault, and then they ran off. Like, it was a hit and run, but, you know, I'm good now. You know, we Gucci. And I was actually teaching volleyball at the same time. Like, literally, like, I was going to take off work, but I was trying to make sure my volleyball team is good because, you know, I love my kids. And something when it comes to me, it's like, me as a teacher, I will like sacrifice like certain things just because I know how much it means to, like, you know, have support, especially like when I was like teaching high school. Like, I was like, I've already had my high school experience, and if I can, like, you know, help these kids have a better high school experience by coaching or, you know, just being support, like, you know, for different events and stuff, I'll do it. So, you know, I'm grateful for, like, you know, everybody that helped me in the past and, like, really just stood by my side. And now we're going on a new little adventure, and I'm praying it's going to be a good year. I feel like it's going to be pretty good, and I'm excited, even though I'm like, but I'm actually excited, and I know that it's going to be way better than last year. So, yeah, I can't wait to get started. You know, I actually I could wait. But anyways, when it comes to me doing this makeup look, I wanted to do like, it was like at the playground, and I had tried to do this look before and I fucked up because like the proportions were like confusing me, because like sometimes when I do these looks I really just be freestyling, and 9 times out of 10 I am freestyling when it comes to a look. But there were like certain like things I was trying to draw, because at first I was gonna draw monkey bars, like that's what I did on the first look I did, or the first, you know, trial, and I just like messed up the proportions and it just looked crazy. So I just decided to like take it off and just like restart later on. So I did my research for this look. You know, I looked at Google and I looked at like the pictures and stuff. Like whenever I don't understand how to draw something, I'll just look like, either I'll say how to draw blank, or I'm like blank drawings, just so I can kind of see like the proportions, and then I'll just like freehand it after that. And this comes with practice, because girl, like I am an artist, like for real, mind you. Like I'm an art teacher. I've done art like every single year in, like, you know, elementary school, middle school, high school. I was always taking art, and yeah, I love it. And it feels really cool to like be able to do like these illustrations on my forehead. Like sometimes I feel like I get frustrated because like I have to, like, I rush sometimes during these looks because it takes so long. Like I love doing my makeup, but like it gets to a point during the process where I'm just like, I get tired, because this is something that like takes a little bit amount of time. Like usually when I'm doing such like elaborate looks, it takes like at least like minimum 2 hours, usually more than that. And sometimes I'm gonna have to like multitask, like while something is drying I might have to go like finish the laundry and come back, or I might have to go cook something, like come back. So like sometimes the makeup process is a little bit longer just because I have to, like, you know, do other things. But anyways, while this layer is drying, I'm going ahead and doing my foundation, because I will outline everything, but I don't want to outline it while it's wet, because then that's going to cause so many other issues. I'm going to get pissed off because the colors are mudding up. But yeah, when it comes to these looks, I've learned to multitask. So like I will like either do like my eyeshadow, like I had already did in this video, but like I'll do different things that way. Like I'm not necessarily just waiting around, if that makes sense. And I'm using that same Thread Beauty concealer like on my face. Usually whenever I do my makeup, whatever concealer I use to clean up underneath my brows is usually the concealer I use to basically highlight my face. And as you see, I love this concealer so much, and I like brushes like that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like smaller but it's dense. I feel like that's like my favorite type of brush to use, and I believe that one's from Beast by Dave's Cosmetics. And I'm using my Made by Mitchell Blursh Balm. Mind you, like I have my summer tan, so this color is not popping as much as it used to. But you know, sometimes I don't want like a like heavy like bronzer effect, but I can always like deepen it up with like my powder, because you know I'm gonna go over with powder. So I'm spraying it first with a hydrating setting spray. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh spray, and I actually ran out of this, and I might be restocking. I don't know. When I was setting my face, I put way too much powder on, so that's why you see me like trying to like dust off some of the area or like really pat it in. Usually I will tap off, but I feel like I was in a rush at this time and I just was like over it. But I like to use the Made by Mitchell. I forgot what brush this is, but I have like 10 million of his like brush sets, and I love this brush because it makes it so much easier to set my highlighted areas. And then I'm taking this Milk Makeup powder to set my entire face. I have not been using this powder that much just because I feel like it's like a shade or two too light. Like I mean, I can make it work, but like I will prefer like a slightly darker like setting powder for all over my face. And I'm using the Beauty Bakerie Snackaroons bronzer, I believe that's what it is, to bronze my face or contour my face. And I'm now going back in with that brunette palette I used earlier just to like add my eyeshadow underneath my eyes to make it look a little bit more cohesive. I'm using the same shades that I use above my eyes, and I try to use smaller brushes, that way like I don't get it like all over the place. And I'm using my One Size Point Made liner in Bodacious Black. I actually really like this liner. It's really creamy. I hadn't used it for a while because I needed a pencil sharpener for this, and I finally got one, so expect to see it be used a little bit more. And I'm just using the same eyeliner I use to like line my top lash line to basically outline everything. And I kind of like when I outline stuff for these drawings and stuff, I'm not always like being as precise as I can be, but I kind of like the messy look because this is kind of like how I do like my art in general. Like yes, I try to like do things a little bit precise, but I'm not afraid to like kind of just like, you know, let the brush strokes just like do its thing. And sometimes it's not perfect, but you know, I like it. I like it. Anyways, how are y'all doing? How is summer going for y'all? I know some people are like mentally like summer is almost over, and I mean I feel like summer ends like at the end of August, like early September, but you know, school wise, yes, summer is almost over. But I honestly, I wish I could have like went on vacation more and just like went swimming. Like that's the only thing that makes me sad is like I couldn't do those things. But next summer I'm making a mission of mine. I'm about to be out somewhere. I'm gonna be swimming. I need to like be in the pool 24/7. But yeah, it's been hot. I'm not gonna lie to you, like hot, and I absolutely hate it. Like I hate being hot, and it makes me so frustrated when I go like, you know, run errands or go grocery shopping and stuff, because I'll be like, damn, I'm finna pass the fuck out just trying to put groceries in my car. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So talking about this blush, this was one of the first times I used this blush, and I definitely was a little bit too heavy-handed. I should have known that Juvia's Place was going to have very pigmented blush, but whenever I put too much blush on, what I normally do is just take the powder brush that I use for all over my face, and I basically just like pat the areas where I put the blush just to tone it down a little bit, and usually that will help. For my highlighter, I decided to use one of my Made by Mitchell like duo highlighters, and I actually love this highlighter. I have a couple different versions of these highlighter duos, and I feel like they're actually really good quality, and I love them. And they're usually my go-to highlighters, not gonna lie to you. But now that I've done my highlighter, blush, and stuff, I'm just drawing my molds back on. And for some reason, I decided to put like this like diamond prismatic pigment from JelliWink Cosmetics, this gold one, all over my face. I don't know why, but I did it. And now I'm setting my face with this Scratch by Cats Set and Play setting spray. Well, actually it's the sealant, and I read the directions on the bottle the other day, which I had not read, but it was like you're supposed to use your regular setting spray first and then use the sealant on top because it's supposed to seal your makeup. But you know, I just be doing what I be doing. For my lips, I just wanted like a basic nude lip combo, and I decided to try out these eyeliner lashes. I had originally bought these, I believe I bought these for my like makeup kit because I needed some lashes and stuff, but nobody wanted them. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna need them. I'm just gonna use them because I did need lashes. And I'm putting these rhinestones in my brow. Something that I've been doing lately is like matching like my like rhinestones kind of to the color of my brow, if that makes sense. So I used the Juvia's Place Chocolate Drip lip gloss, and this is one of the lip glosses I use all the time. I try to like switch it out with different like brown lip glosses. That's way I'm using all of my makeup. And then I'm going in with this gloss from Made by Mitchell, which I don't normally use, but I actually feel like it was cute for the look. And now I'm putting on my lashes. I put it like closer to like the front of my lash, and y'all didn't see it, but I did add another one towards like the outer part, if that makes sense, just to make it look a little bit fuller. But this is the end of the look. I hope y'all liked it. I love y'all. Bye.